What's up? Today I want to talk about a question that I feel most of us have asked, and that is, where is God when you feel hopeless? Where is he when it hurts? Have you ever gone through tough times? I have. I know for a fact most of us have. And to be honest, sometimes it can feel like these tough times just won't end. And to a certain extent, it could feel like we're stuck in this never-ending cycle of feeling desperate, lonely, and hopeless. And it can get to the point where we could feel like we've lost our strength to even hold on to our faith in God. These moments can seem so tough that it can make it hard for us to even move forward and live our lives out. Can I tell you today that you're not alone in this? And that it's okay to feel this way? So where is God when these seasons seem to last forever? Where is he when it hurts? And I know this sounds crazy, but I think I found the answer to this in Psalms 34, 17 through 22. It goes on to say that the Lord hears his people when they call to him for help. He rescues them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. The righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to the rescue each time. For the Lord protects the bones of the righteous, not one of them is broken. Calamity will surely destroy the wicked, and those who hate the righteous will be punished. But the Lord will redeem those who serve him. No one who takes refuge in him will be condemned. It says in the book of Psalms that God is close to us when we're brokenhearted. That's why he can hear us when we call out to him. We don't need to use a megaphone or say some special prayer or follow some certain formula to get his attention. When we are hurting and we call out to him, God draws near to us. What does it even mean to call out to him? And honestly, simply, it just means to talk to him. And I know I've said this before, but I say it because I genuinely believe it's the best way, or maybe one of the best ways, to start conversation with him, to start a relationship with God. And I know it could feel silly. I mean, it could seem like you're talking to thin air, but can I tell you today that he's there? He's listening to you. In the Message version of Psalms 145:18, it goes on to say, God's there, listening for all who pray and mean it. God is near to you. I mean, the first part of the verse says that he's there. He sees you and he has compassion over the things that you're going through. You're not alone. He wants to help you in these things. Another cool thing about Psalms 34 is that it doesn't just say that God hears us, but he's also going to rescue us. He promises rescue. So can I tell you today that your rescuer is coming no matter what you're going through, that you're not going to be left dead or alone? I mean, it says in Luke 15, it goes on to say this: if a man has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 others in the wilderness just to go search for the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulder. Do you feel lost or totally confused on what you're supposed to do next in life? Trust me, I've been there before. Are you having to wait longer than expected for God to answer a certain prayer? I know that feeling. Maybe you're waiting for healing, or maybe you're feeling agitated or anxious or angry because you're just trying to find peace. Can I tell you today that he's coming for you, that your rescue is coming, and that he will joyfully carry you on his shoulder? And look, I know that I come off super passionate about this stuff. It's just who I am, and I'm not going to apologize for that. But I say these things because I've experienced it before. Like, I've gone through these things. I haven't just read it. I've walked through it. And I want to give you hope that you can get through this also. Man, I can't believe I'm going to talk about this because it's hard to share this story, but I want to in hopes that it'll help you. So anyways, high school was really hard for me. Actually, high school was one of the worst times of my life. And I knew it was going to be one of the worst times of my life due to the first week. You see, when I was in soccer practice that first week of high school, I was doing a training run. And during that training run, I had a kid pass me and he spat in my face. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't want to say anything because I just got into this prestigious school. I didn't want to fail my parents. And even if I left, I was so scared of what others were going to say about me. I didn't want my parents to think that I was a deception or some type of failure. And so I just kept quiet. Later on that year, it got worse in high school. And I started to deal with a lot of racist jokes because I was one of the few Latinos within 400 kids. And I remember one day when I was in class, I sat down and the racist jokes came up again. But it got to a point where these racist jokes and the feeling of worthlessness became so real for me that I thought it was my truth. And so I was sitting at my desk and I pulled out a piece of paper, and I remember I had tears streaming down through my eyes. And I started writing my suicide letter, and I wanted to say goodbye, and I wrote all these things of why I hated life and why I felt so worthless and so my meaning of life felt so pointless. But luckily, by the grace of God, I don't know how. I barely even had a relationship with God because of these racist thoughts and these racist jokes. But luckily, by the grace of God, I don't know how, I decided to go to a school counselor, and I showed him the letter, and I started my journey of finding healing through this. And even through this healing, there was a point in time where I stopped believing in God, but God didn't stop working in me and healing me through this process. And let me tell you something, it took a while to find healing from this. It wasn't until 2021 that I felt like I received full healing from my worthlessness and from my suicidal thoughts. I finally started to believe that God's word was the truth over my life, not my worthlessness, but what he declared over my life. I started high school in 2010, and during that time between 2010 and 2021, like that verse said, in so many of those moments where I dealt with suicidal thoughts, God rescued me each and every time because he was close to me. Even when I didn't even know, he was faithful enough to take care of me. And I want to let you know that he is there. He's so close to you. And trust me, I questioned where God was in those moments, but God showed up in so many unexpected ways, through my friends, through my family, sermons, or even my quiet time in prayer. He kept on reminding me of my worth, even when I didn't even feel like it, even when I didn't feel like I deserved it. He was there showing up constantly, rescuing me in ways I couldn't even imagine. God showed up and protected me and kept me safe. If it wasn't for his constant love and care for me, I don't think I would have ever been able to find that healing and that redemption. One last thing I want to share with you is this. Your redemption is coming. You're going to come out stronger, wiser, more loving, more caring, more healed than you could ever even imagine. And I can't tell you exactly how it's going to happen because all I have is my story and maybe the testimonies and the stories of others. But from my own experience, I've learned that God keeps his promises. And it's even I can't even say that, but it's even written in the book of Hebrews. It goes on to say in Hebrews 6:18, God can't break his word, and because his word cannot change, the promise is likewise unchangeable. So please remember this. God hears you because he's close to you. He wants to rescue you and protect you, but most of all, he wants to give you redemption, that your redemption is on the way. So don't lose hope. Keep on trusting and believing that your better days are ahead because he loves you. That's pretty much it. That's all I got. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.